Hello everyone, CD Racing here, and welcome back for episode 11 of our Dirt Rally 2 career mode playthrough. Now, last episode, you could say it was eventful.
Flat middle of a big jump, and flat jump 100. Flat left.
So, as you can see, we were absolutely flying in Finland, but we have one more rally to tackle before we round out this series, and it's a big one. Not only have we not mathematically won the championship, but Spain is quite difficult. Tarmac rallies, front-wheel drive car, no turbo. We're going to have to really drive this car. And quick warning, up in the top left, if you see the specs from my PC, I was recording the wrong window. That's my bad. Quick overview of the championship standings going into Spain. And yes, as you can see, we do not hold a 30-point lead. So we got to finish this thing. We got to finish well, clear up some of these battle scars from last time out, and I will see you in Spain. All right, so quite the introduction, but it's necessary for a rally like Spain. A lot of high-speed, flat-out sections like you see right now, transitioning into very low-speed, tight, almost toge-esque sections. One of my favorite rallies, if I'm being completely honest. Excited to tackle it, and of course what we tackle it in, our little front-wheel drive egg of fun. Now, no turbo, so in the real world, with the elevation changes that we're looking at here, as we do a quick overview over the weekend, I'll just let you read those on screen. In the real world, this car would be at a significant disadvantage because at higher altitudes, turbocharged cars tend to do significantly better. This one, of course, naturally aspirated, just a high revving four-cylinder. We're going to tackle it to the best of our ability. If you look over some of these stages, you'll see we have some that are flat. The one we just glossed over, just under 200 feet, and this one right here, almost 1,000 feet of elevation over just over 4 miles. So lots of changes here, like with any rally, but this one tends to be a bit more extreme and on tarmac. And looking over the tuning of the car, didn't do anything crazy. I won't just make you watch this entire thing, but moral of the story for my tuning, tightened up the suspension a little bit, definitely lowered the ride height. We're not going to be going over any huge jumps or anything like that. And the biggest adjustment I can say is your gearing. More importantly, your final drive. There are some very high-speed sections here in Spain. So if I can give you any tips on how to tune your car, if you could only do one thing, not like you can, but if you wanted to make one big change to improve your times here in Spain, drag that final drive out, allow yourself to reach at least 10 to 15 miles an hour higher than you'd think or than you were from stock. And I promise you, you will shave multiple seconds off of every stage. So, gonna go ahead and skip to the start now, and let's get started.
Start 100. 5 right 30. 2 left tightens. Good luck. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 100, 5 right, 30, 2 left tightens. Into 3 right long, opens 50. Don't cut 6 right, opens of a crest, into flat left, 100. Early 4 left, 4 right. Extra long, don't cut, opens into 5 left, opens 80, 4 left, extra long, into 6 right, keep middle of a 30, 6 right, tightens 4, opens, tightens, 5 right, into 5 left long, into 6 right of a crest, into 5 left, extra long, 30. 5 right long, tightens 3, into 4 left long, 30, 6 right, extra long, tightens, into 4 left long, tightens 3 narrow, into don't cut, 4 right, opens 30, 6 left, 150, early 5 left, 100, 3 right tightens, into cut, 4 left, into 5 left, small cut over crest, into 6 right long, caution 30, 5 right long, tightens narrow 3, 50, slow 5 left over crest long, into 3 right, into 4 left, small cut into caution, 6 right, 2 left long, opens 6, into 3 right, very long, tightens 100, 3 right tightens, into 2 left long, tightens 1, 30, 6 left, into 4 right, opens long, tightens past junction, 5 left, opens extra long, into 4 right long, 50, 6 left long, opens 100, 5 right, extra long, tightens to crest, and 6 left, extra long, tightens cut, opens 50, 6 right, 100, 6 right over crest, slow, keep left over crest, 60, caution, 2 right tightens, opens 6, into small cut, 3 left long, tightens 1, small cut, 70, 4 right long, 30, 2 right, into 2 left long, tightens, don't cut, opens 100, 5 right long, tightens over crest, into 4 left long, into slow, small cut, 5 right, 3 left, 2 right, tightens, small cut, into 6 left, opens 50, 6 left, keep right over 30, 1 left tightens, 2 right, small cut, into 3 left long, into 2 right tightens, 6 left over finish, 70 to stop.
All right, so solid first stage from us, 19-second victory. So we were moving, but a 19-second victory is pretty insane over second place on this stage. So off to a great start here. Looking good for a stage win, of course, 343 for that stage. And for those of you that aren't particularly keen-eyed, for the rest of this rally, or at least until I actually remembered to fix it, watch how the car acts going into heavy braking zones. Any sort of braking zone where I'm laying on the brakes for more than like 1 second, watch the phenomenon of this car rotating the front end very aggressively under braking. One thing I forgot to change when tuning this vehicle was, for some reason, the default brake bias on these cars is about 80% to the front. Now, in dirt situations, that's great. In tarmac, not ideal. So over stage 2, we're back with the commentary. We're going to try and navigate that. Stage leader 554. Let's see how we do.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so launching the car a lot softer than usual, because here on tarmac, the game, at least Dirt Rally 2, is realistic enough to where if you dump that clutch and launch the car on tarmac, you can do significant damage to your gearbox components. So limiting damage here, launching soft here. We've got a little over, I believe the stage is over 5 miles. I could be very wrong. But regardless, we know what we've got to do over the course of this stage, and a very soft launch will not be life or death. So early goings here, mid-speed sections here, going through a corner. We got to call for a massive cut through that section, and that's exactly why. Into big cut 5 right. So again, trusting the call is just absolutely cutting out of this parking lot section, catching it on the end there. It could have been a warning there for sure, but we are now up into these high-speed sections that I'm talking about. 6 left into 5 right, tightens over 50 into 6 left 150. So again, catch the car, watch it as we can. They're a very narrow lead at the second over second place, so we're going to send it into this corner right here. We know it's coming in. Trust the car, hold the angle. Again, these blind corners at speed, a little sketchy, but trust the calls like as they come in. And I actually didn't stretch my gearbox as much as I told you, do as I say, not as I do. I had a hard time stretching or remembering to stretch those gears. So you see me, kind of wrapping out the car way earlier than I should. Going into the braking zone there, that was that phenomenon I was talking about where the car jerks aggressively under braking. The front bias really messing with the stability of the car in high-speed braking zones. You see, again, when I have hard braking input, the car wants so badly to rotate. Now, luckily, correcting oversteer with front-wheel drive cars is very easy. You just counter-steer and apply throttle. You'll catch it as soon as you can. And now, applying some initial D tactics, riding the gutter didn't work out well at all. Immediately eating the guardrail. Got to be careful with that. Those things will upset your car much sooner than you'd think. Hard braking into the 2 right long. Just watching our speed here. Driving this a lot differently than you normally see me handle this car. I'm sure as you've noticed, we are not on dirt or gravel or snow. We are on tarmac, so we are driving with actual grip, and it's a little bit of a change to go back to driving these vehicles with a regular racing ideology. You know, slow in, fast out, kind of out, in, out, try to make some sort of a racing line. You'll see me try to apply that the best that I can, but the sudden change and availability of grip, especially with how you've gotten used to driving these cars, you know, zero grip, always fighting understeer. This time now, we're plagued by oversteer. It's literally the exact opposite of what we're used to. And into this low-speed technical toge section here, you'll see me balancing with the car. If the audio cuts out or I go silent for a little bit, try to focus on the audio. Just listen on my throttle inputs, you know, the varying degrees of RPMs as they go up and down as you hear me feather the throttle in these low-speed situations. I want to avoid understeer to the best of my ability, but I have to get back on the power as quickly as I can. You know, front-wheel drive cars, especially on tarmac, you're going to be doing all of that with your right feet. I'll be making minor adjustments on the wheel. You know, if I'm understeering or, you know, oversteering too bad, I'll obviously make adjustments with the wheel, but a lot of this work is being done with my right foot, with the throttle. If I'm noticing understeer, you let off a little bit. If I'm noticing an oversteer, give it more. All of these adjustments are happening very, very quickly as I'm still listening to the calls come in and managing it well. Okay, through this toge section, I could be much faster, maybe a little bit wilder, but, you know, this isn't a time trial. This is the entirety of the event. I know I have to finish this thing just to get any sort of points, and we have not won the championship. So about a little over midway through here, getting towards the end of the super tight section of this toge part, it's going to start opening up just a little bit. 5 right long over 30 into 4 left opens over crest 30. So watch your input. You know it opens up for you just like that. Power out early. Watching here, 3 right tightens hard on the brakes. Tightens right there midway through the corner. Go ahead and navigate that one okay. And to another 3 right tightens. Watching our speed here, 4 right tightens into 3 left tightens once again. 30 into 5 left, into 2 left. So again, one cool thing here, low speed sections on asphalt can be taken a lot more carefree than dirt sections because the grip is always there. You can actually carry quite a bit of speed. As long as you have grip, you can send it through those corners a lot faster than you used to on dirt. You saw that there for that 2 left. Took it, you know, midway through 3rd gear, I believe. And now, these are the high-speed sections of Spain. Right at the top of 5th gear. Watch for the 4 right tightens. Make sure you hit the brakes, get in there okay. And another one right here, the section's going to open up for us gradually. Just kind of create your own racing line, but don't get too confident in case there's some sort of change on the road. Nothing is certain. We've got 6 into 6 right 100. Now I've gained a 13-second lead towards the end of the stage here. 6 left over crest long. Absolutely flying at the very top of the rev range. No possibility for us to go any faster at the moment. Just sending it to our abilities. 4 right into 5 left. Watch your speed just a little bit. Keep left into 4 right. Didn't do the best of that. A little bit of understeer on the exit there, but we manage it okay. Again, makeshift racing lines. Out, in, out. You'll watch me do this for most of these corners as well as I can, but when there's rapid changes like this, 4 right into slow, 3 left, I'm just going to watch my speed, make sure that I hit the corner, and then power out when I feel confident. You see there, letting off and adjusting my steering and go towards the end there because I definitely would have understeered into the guardrail, and these are the things you're going to be doing all the time, especially on tarmac rallies. But now, I mean, look at the speed we're carrying. The absolute top of 5th gear, I believe. In the default setup, that's about 125 miles an hour that we are flying down this road right now. Absolutely sending it. Watch it over these corners here. A little bit of understeer can be scary. Getting so close to the guardrails over the finish right here. 17-second victory, managing that stage quite well. A couple minor collisions with the guardrails, but nothing serious. That's rally. And we're going to go ahead and park it up right here with another strong performance coming into stage 2. Now, second service stage, quite the change from our last couple rallies. I don't really think we have any damage, maybe some light body work, but off to a fantastic start here in Spain. Let's see how we do for this second section. And real quickly, just to completely brag, if we separate the times by everyone participating this weekend, you'll notice that we were 3rd fastest out of everyone here, beating all of the Group Bs, besides 2. If that doesn't show you that the difficulty needs to get cranked way up, that should right there. This little egg should never be competing with Group B cars, even on tarmac, where all-wheel drive isn't the greatest advantage. That shouldn't be happening. Now, like I said, not much damage to the car, just some light body work from brushing with the guardrails, but that is it. That is probably the cheapest service station we have had in many a moon. As we load into section 3 here, just a little 2.85 mile sprint followed by a 6.57 mile endurance fest. Let's go ahead and see how that goes after we change tires. Probably going to go ahead and opt for the softs here just because we have significantly less ground to cover. We want as much grip as possible, and let's see how we fare in section 2.
Starts 50, keep right, into 5 left, into 4 right. Good luck.
All right, so very short stage in front of us should be business as usual. As the lights go down, we're going to hold the revs lower than usual, but hold them nonetheless. Dump the clutch as the lights go down. 50 over 5 left into 4 right. So again, watching speed, these calls at low speed, you're going to be flat out the entire opening section here. 4 right, very long, opens 30. So watch speed on the entrance, you know it's going to open up. Just stay in 5th gear, power out accordingly. 5 right into 3 left. Slow down just a little bit. Managing your speed, again, all of these calls can be taken much faster than you're used to here on tarmac as you have much more grip than usual. 3 tightens 2. Could have taken that a little bit better. He's heard me letting off the throttle a couple times because I wasn't 100% sure when it was going to tighten and I didn't want to understeer into a wall. So after handling that accordingly, just kind of working our way through the rest of the stage here. Downshifting into 4th midway through that corner because I lost a lot of speed. Figured exiting at such low RPM was going to lose me quite a bit of time. Powering out early now as I can. 2 left, extra long. We'll see how many gears I shave down here. I'm assuming down into 3rd. And yes, I did. I'm so in tune with my past self. Who would have thought? Now, 2 left, into 4 right, into 2 left. Lots of changes of direction here, and some of them very rapid. You see that little kink right after the corner didn't even get a call because, you're just going straight. Not everything has to be laid out. Some of it is pretty self-explanatory. So 5 left, extra long, into 4 right. Watching our speed here, into 2 left, tighten. We are having trouble keeping the car on the road. That is the phenomenon I was talking about, that braking under speed. Still haven't caught it 100% yet. I did not change anything in that service station, unfortunately. So, having to deal to the best of our abilities. Coming into the section here, high speed 5 right long. Just watch the understeer.
6 right.
So that happened. Yeah, that is a milestone. First terminal damage, not career ending, but weekend ending crash televised on the channel. I know we had our first big one in the first season that we went over, but this was a big one. Like I've mentioned many times in this video, we had not won this championship mathematically. And a terminal damage like that, it's not looking good. Now, we do have the ability to repair the car from terminal damage thanks to some upgrades we made a while back, but depending how bad the gap is, as you see the car is in rough shape. It's been better. As you see, we are down in 27th place because when you retire from a stage, you take a massive penalty. As you can see, we are now an hour into this event. Now, if this is the WRC where times can get crazy adjusted, we would push on. However, there's no way we're making back a 40-minute deficit in the span of 2 stages. That is our rally. That is our event finished. That is the championship over. 2nd place in the championship is nothing to scoff at, but the 1st place was in our hands, and it fell to the same culprit. Now, a little bit of a consolation prize. 2nd place in the championship still gets us $381,000, which is nothing to scoff at, and it does warrant us the promotion to pro difficulty, which is bittersweet because we had some problems. Towards the later end of this season, we were kind of pulling wins out of the fact that the AI was just a little slow. But now with the AI growing even faster, our mistakes more willing to be punished, where do we go from here? And I was asking myself the same thing because lore-wise, as we look over the next championship, we've got Hawke's Bay in New Zealand, Spain once again, Poland. We've also got Wales, Scotland, and Greece. So a difficult calendar, to say the least. Now, headcanon-wise, you would think the next logical step is to work our way into the faster all-wheel drive cars. However, after such a, let's be honest, abysmal end to the season, I know we still got 2nd in the championship, but a lot of those rallies were sketchy at best. I think it's time we go back to the roots. I think it's time we push the cars that are just ridiculous. We need to drive something so difficult and wild that it forces us to get back in tune with our instincts, get ready to throw the car around like a man or a woman. Michelle Motone, top 3 driver of all time, argue with your grandma. But are we ready to lock in? Like I said, I look over my options here. You'll kind of sit in with me live as I was thinking here, and I just realized, no. Rear-wheel drive, H3. Absolutely wild. Still manageable, but we won't be going last in the running orders. The parts, believe it or not, are significantly cheaper because these cars are so much older. And I think we need a training arc. We need to drive something ridiculous on the hardest stages in the world to force ourselves to lock in and stop messing around. Now, what you're looking at now is my garage. I have quite a few cars from the DLC, and I decided, let's do some actual practice, huh? You guys aren't getting a 20-minute episode. We still have things to do. We've got work to do, and we need to lock in for the 3rd season of this championship. So, loading into Washington, USA. What is this? Yes, this is the Dirtfish training grounds, mirrored, what I've heard, pretty similarly to the real-life Dirtfish Rally School, which is actually pretty cool. Now, I come here all the time testing cars that I've never driven before in an effort to get better. So, you see me now in the background driving, and I actually tested 2 different vehicles. I mentioned briefly that we were looking in my garage because I have access to a lot of vehicles. I knew I was going to do a rear-wheel drive car that was older, and I decided, was it going to be the 240 or the Lancia Stratos? And as you can see early goings here, rear-wheel drive vehicles I definitely have the least amount of practice with. So I was trying to get used with the feel. They have to be driven very differently in third person just to get a good sense of where the car is versus how it feels as I'm driving it. You know, car position versus wheel position is something that's a little harder to capture from a sim. So when I'm driving a car for the first time, I stick it in third person, try to get a hang of it. And what I'm doing right now, it might look like I'm just messing around doing donuts. I think in rear-wheel drive vehicles, this is a good practice to do. Try your hardest to do one circle without any major adjustment, without any huge change in direction of the car, to show yourself and get used to how the car feels under throttle input realistically. You want to, especially in rear-wheel drive cars, you want to be doing a lot of work with your feet and not the steering wheel, because you will unsettle the car very quickly, whereas when you're having power driven to the rear wheels, it's a lot easier to just feather the throttle, kind of give yourself input, keep the car sliding, and then power out as early as possible. Now, that was a mediocre example on screen right now, kind of just showcasing this raw footage so you can see what I go through when I've never driven a car before, and so it at least looks a little more impressive when I have this thing on an actual rally stage, trying to get it all together. So now, overlaying footage from what I attempted to drive the Stratos. Now, if you only follow my channel for me, first of all, second, if you're not into rally per se and you don't know what this car is, this is an extremely infamous rally car. The Lancia Stratos, when it first was introduced in the late 70s, was absolutely dominant. This is a mid-engine rear-wheel drive V6, and it has a very, very unique sound. One of the more unique sounding vehicles, and I wanted to overlay this footage, as bad as it may be, again, to showcase my decision making. I know in real life, this Stratos is by far and away the better car to choose. It has the prestige, its real-life performances speak for themselves, and the 240Z was never a vehicle necessarily synonymous with rally. In fact, the first time I ever saw someone trying to rally a 240Z was when I loaded up this game and saw that it was a car in here. I had never even thought to attempt that. However, I'm leaving this gameplay in, specifically this section right here, because this car was not meshing with it. I believe the combination of mid-engine and rear-wheel drive left far too much weight to be transferred over the wheels, and I had a hard time consistently catching that and not just oversteering. You know, the second oversteer was induced, which you do a lot in rear-wheel drive rally cars. You kind of slide through most of these corners. That corner right there was probably the best I'd done at actually maintaining an angle. And then again, as soon as I introduced further weight transfer under braking, I spun the car around once again. So I'm leaving this footage in so that you don't absolutely flame me in the comments for choosing the quote-unquote worst car. I know this car is worse, but I didn't feel like losing money and wasting time going into a season and just hoping that I could thug it out and figure it out midway through the season. Although this might be the faster car early goings, I felt significantly more confident in the 240. So now the time has come to continue our legacy, get over the sophomore slump, and showcase to everyone that we are capable of learning from our mistakes, pushing forward and improving ourselves, both in character and, more importantly, maybe as a driver. I will see you in New Zealand. All right, new season, new car. Time to show everyone that we are not washed. First stage here in New Zealand loading in. New Zealand is actually one of my favorite rallies, at least in Dirt Rally 2. I find this one very enjoyable to drive. I find the section changes tend to feel a lot more flowy. You have very noticeable low-speed sections followed by very noticeable high-speed sections. They don't necessarily feel intertwined, which I personally like. Now, looking over the weekend, third season, longer season. As you can see, we have more rallies to take care of. Now, you only see 6 on screen, but we have more, I promise you. Looking over this weekend, quite a few long ones, which is pretty synonymous here in New Zealand. We have one that's almost 10 miles, quite a few around 5 miles, 7.3 miles, and then stages 7 and 8. A short one again, 2.98 miles and 4.11 miles. Basically 2 sprints to round out this weekend if we get there. Now, stage 1, opting to stay on medium tires because although the first stage is almost 3 miles, the second one is almost 10. 13 miles at high pace seems like quite a bit to do on softs, so we're going to opt for mediums. And for the first time ever, we are not running dead last. We will probably be going 65th out of all the cars here. As you can see, quite a few people here this weekend, but we will not be running behind them. So, first time on a fresher stage, more difficult car. We're actually going to keep the commentary going for stage 1 here because we've got a new car, we've got new things to worry about, rear-wheel drive, more power, barely more weight. It's going to be crazy. Let's see how we handle it. All right, so getting ready to hold the revs here. First time up in the new car, 240 rear-wheel drive, no traction control, no ABS, just dreams and the cojones to send it through the dirt trail. 1 left starting out early here, and immediately we're going to see the differences and my lack of skill and confidence in the rear-wheel drive. Low speed sections here. You want to go ahead and induce oversteer in the beginning of every corner and then battle the car throughout. And as you see, a lot of steering wheel movement, trying to catch the car when I catch it. I'm scared of oversteering and spinning, but understeering will throw you off the stage. A lot more things to worry about. As you see, when you don't throw in that initial oversteer angle, you're basically just fighting the car the entire time. I try to point out all my mistakes early here so you know what we have to deal with this season. So going into this 2 right, slow the car down, and you see me struggling with very low speed through these sections because I'm not really throwing the car in. I'm trying to steer, almost like we're back on tarmac, but in dirt, especially in a rear-wheel drive car, you have to send the car in early and then power out. You see that one maintained a little bit more speed, lack of confidence on throttle on exit there. It's taking me forever to get on throttle here, but I'm slowly gaining confidence, having to fight the car quite a bit. Now this car, unlike the car last season, we are back to an actual third pedal. This car is a 6-speed manual, so having to watch my downshifts, having to worry about rev matching, on top of fighting the harder to drive car. Like I said, this season's going to be tough. This hairpin right here, decent angle. I could have powered out early again, but you know, it's that lack of confidence throwing the car into these lower speed sections. So here, left, 3 left, tightens open, hairpin left. So slow down, get the car turned in, and a little bit too shallow and early on my entrance there. So you see me again, just kind of fighting the car through the low speed sections. It's going to happen a lot. Don't worry, you'll have plenty of instances of what not to do early goings here. But we're maintaining a decent pace, and now time to touch on the fact that the AI is harder now. As you see, a little too shallow on the entrance there. Cut the inside now, not major damage, just kind of bouncing towards the outside there. But again, speaking on the AI, that's a perfect gap right there. The difference to the people in front of us, I am behind by 1/100th of a second. These guys are almost mirroring my exact pace. Now, I'm not driving this car as fast as I can, which is promising, but it tells me I've got to get a grip. I need to drive this car as fast as I can, even with my lack of rear-wheel drive experience, just to even think about winning this season. And that's what we wanted. We wanted to have the pressure held to us. We needed to be forced to improve so that we can genuinely start to improve, because for anyone that's been keeping up with this series, the last couple of rallies back in that Opel, they were rough. We had quite a few accidents that were unnecessary, absolutely draining our wallets. But this section, high-ish speed with massive changes in the rear-wheel drive, managing it okay. Another hairpin left that I'm going to take mid at best. And you'll see now the characteristics of this car. I'm so excited for this season. Like I said, I have a very large lack of experience in rear-wheel drive, but when you finally start to get these things down, you are not going faster than a lot of other cars, but my lord, are you having the most fun. I mean, fighting this car the entire stage, you don't even realize time is passing. We're a little over 3 minutes here, coming towards the end of the stage here. Open hairpin right, slow the car down, get your turn at angle, force it with the handbrake there. We weren't really able to do any little Scandi flick just because of the way I approached that corner. So we're going to be relying on the handbrake quite a bit here in these low speed sections if I fail to give myself some sort of initial turn in. And you'll notice when I do it right here, you see me grab a little bit of handbrake, the car changing direction very rapidly. That was a handbrake pull every day. Now, I'm not going to be yanking on that every single corner, but in these low-speed corners, if I'm having trouble turning the car in, you bet I'm going to yank it every time, because it's better to initiate oversteer and catch it while maintaining momentum than understeering and just having to let off throttle, fix the car. You'll see how much time you lose there. And coming to the end of the first stage, things are looking promising. Harder difficulty, much harder car, harder rally in New Zealand, and we have managed quite decently, almost a 3-second gap to 2nd place on that stage. A fantastic start to our new season in the new car. I am very, very hyped about this season. Now, don't look at the damage to the car and think that that was all me. I know I had that brief brush on the wall, but we actually take damage because this was a used car and I did not repair it before this weekend. So what you're looking at is the raw car, and we've got a new season ahead of us. We're going to be telling everyone that last season might have been a mistake, but we have the mental fortitude to learn from it and improve and show everyone that we may be knocked down, but we won't stay down for long. It's time to show everyone that we are going to take this season and drive the piss out of this car. Let's get started.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.